Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to study about modern periodic table. In my previous video lecture, we have studied about Mendeleev's periodic table and merits and demerits of Mendeleev's periodic table. So when we are talking about demerits of Mendeleev's periodic table, there are three demerits in Mendeleev's periodic table, which we are just remove out in modern periodic table. First, we will study about that anomalies, means anomalies in Mendeleev's periodic table, how these anomalies are just removed out in modern periodic table. So, you can see here, student, first demerit of Mendeleev's periodic table is related to position of hydrogen. So, what is the first demerit of Mendeleev's periodic table? Yes, hydrogen resembles like alkali as well as halogen atom. You can see here these are alkali metals and this 17 group is halogen halogen group. So hydrogen resembles like both alkali metals as well as halogen. So Mendeleev couldn't give fixed position to hydrogen. This was the first limitation of Mendeleev's periodic table. So in modern periodic table, in 1930, Moseley just proved that atomic mass number is not the fundamental property of an atom. Instead of that, atomic number is the fundamental property of an element. So when we are talking about any element, its atomic number is its fundamental property. So this Moseley's periodic table is also called as long form of periodic table, is also called modern periodic table. This periodic table is based on atomic number of elements. Why this is based on number of atomic number and why it is more useful, these all points we have discussed in my previous video lecture. So how first anomalies of Mendeleev's periodic table get removed out into this modern periodic table? As atomic number of hydrogen is 1, though it behaves like alkali as well as halogen atoms, as per its atomic number 1, it get first position into the periodic table. So these anomalies get removed out into this periodic table. Second anomalies of Mendeleev's periodic table or second demerits of Mendeleev's periodic table is related to isotopes. Isotopes are the elements having same atomic number but different atomic mass number, means all they are same. We have discussed about isotopes of chlorine and hydrogen. So there are three isotopes of hydrogen, H11, H12, H13. As like this, chlorine is in the form of two isotopes, Cl1735 and Cl1737. Though their atomic number is fixed and no other element in the universe show the same atomic number, all isotopes are just put into this first position. And when we are talking about Cl, where is Cl here? But that isotope is Cl35 or Cl37. Both are get positions this 17 number in this modern periodic table. So second anomaly is also this get cured into this Moseley's periodic table. Then third demerit is related to cobalt and nickel. You can see here, as this this periodic table is based on atomic number. Atomic number of cobalt is 27 and atomic number of nickel is 28. So cobalt come first and then nickel. Third demerit also get removed out into this periodic table. In this way, all the demerits of Mendeleev's periodic tables just remove out in this modern periodic table. So this is more beneficial, more useful. Which three anomalies? Position of hydrogen, then isotopes, and this cobalt and nickel. All three demerits get removed out into this modern periodic table. So now we are going to study about modern periodic table. So this modern periodic table is based on modern periodic law. So who will tell me what is modern periodic law? The modern periodic law states that properties of elements are periodic function of their atomic number. Only one word get changed. Instead of atomic mass number, now we say atomic number. So this modern periodic table is based on atomic numbers of elements. They are just arranged in increasing order of their atomic numbers. You can see here how they are arranged. So when we are talking about modern periodic table, in modern periodic table also there are periods and groups. What is mean by periods? The horizontal rows of element in periodic table are called periods, and the periods means vertical columns are called groups. These horizontal rows means horizontal lines. These horizontal rows are called periods, and these vertical columns are called groups. So how many periods and groups are there in modern periodic table? In modern periodic table you can see here total 7 periods are there, and from 1 to 18 total 18 groups are there. How many periods are there in modern periodic table? In modern periodic table 7 periods are there and 18 groups are there. So now we will just study in detail about periods and all groups in modern periodic table. So first period consists of two elements. You can see here hydrogen and helium. Two elements are there. So it is called very short period. Second and third period consist of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Both second and third period consist of 8 elements, so they are called short period. Fourth and fifth period consist of 18 elements, so they are called long period. Then 6 and 7 period consist of 32 elements. That's why they are called very long period. You can see here 1, 2, here from 57 to 71 all are just here. That's why these two periods consist of total 32 elements, and this fourth and fifth one consist of 18 elements. I again repeat, first period consists of 2 elements, so it is called very short period. Second and third period consist of 8 elements, so it is called short period. Fourth and fifth period consist of 18 elements, so they are called long period. Sixth and seventh period consist of 32 elements in each period. That's why they are called very long period. So when we are talking about this period number is related to number of shells. So how many shells are there? K, L, M, N and so on. These are the shells in which electrons just revolve around the nucleus. These are particular orbits K, L, M, N, and you know you have studied about this. How the number of electrons calculated, which formula we use? 2n square, where n is number of shell. Means when we are talking about first shell K, then 2 into 1 square means 2. K shell consists of 2 electrons, means 2 electrons. Maximum electron holding capacity of K shell is 2 electrons. Maximum electron holding capacity of L shell is 8, M shell is 18 and N shell is 32 electrons respectively. So when we are talking about these period numbers are related to number of shells. I will explain by taking example. Atomic number of hydrogen is 1, so its electronic configuration is 1. Only 1. That's why period number is 1. Both hydrogen and helium require only one shell for their electronic configuration. So period number is 1. When we are talking about lithium, what is the atomic number of lithium? Is 3. So electronic configuration is 2, 1. And neon 2, 8. Means from lithium to neon, they requires only 2 shells for their electronic configuration. So period number is 3. They are placed in second period. When we are talking about period 3, sodium, its atomic number is 11, electronic configuration is 2, 8, 1. And what about argon? 2, 8, 8. So from sodium to argon, they require 3 shells for completing their electronic configuration. So they are placed in period 3. Period number 4, potassium, 2, 8, 9. Means 2, 8, 8, 1. Like this. Means this period number is related to number of shells occupied for their electronic configuration. Got it, student? How is this period number is just related to electronic configuration. How many numbers of shells are required for their electronic configuration? That elements are placed into that period. Means lithium requires 2 shells for their electronic configuration. So from lithium to neon all are placed in second period. Sodium required 3 electronic shells. K, L, M, N, L, M, K, L and M. That's why they are placed in period number 3. Potassium requires 4 shells, so period number 4, and so on. That's why, means when we are talking about period, 7 period, this francium requires 7 shells for electronic configuration, so it is placed in period number 7. Then the elements in period have consecutive atomic numbers, means they are just continuously arranged. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They are just arranged in increasing order of their atomic numbers. So this is about all about periods in the periodic table. Then we are going to study about groups. So how many groups are there? You can see here total 18 groups are there, and these 18 group also consist of particular elements are there, means when we are talking about first two groups or first the elements in that group show particular characteristic. So you can see here group 1, group 2, and from this 13 to 17, all these are normal elements, means their outermost shell is incomplete. All elements in group 1 are alkali metals. All elements in group 1 are alkali metals. When we are talking about group 17, all these elements are halogens. Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, all these are halogens. Then from group 3 to group 12, all these are transition elements. So what is meant by transition element? Their last two shells are incomplete. Again I repeat, group 1 consists of alkali metals, group 17 consists of all halogens. From 3 to number 12, all these are transition elements, means their last two shells are just incomplete. Then from 1 2 and from 13 to 17, all these are also called as normal elements, means their outermost shells are incomplete. Then when you see, just you can see here at the bottom two series are there, lanthanide series and actinide series. So for elements from atomic number 50, here you can see 57 to 71, and from 89 to 103, they are just at the they are placed at the bottom of this periodic table, and they are called lanthanide series and actinide series. Why they are called lanthanide and actinide? Because first element from this is lanthanum, and this is this one, means AC. You can see here is AC is actinium. That's why they are called lanthanide series and actinide series. So at the bottom, these two elements are present, and these two series are present at the bottom, which are called lanthanide series and actinide series. So this is modern periodic table. I hope you got all points related to modern periodic table. So how these periods and elements are just classified? How many periods are there? 7 periods are there, and this period number is related to number of shells required for their electronic configuration. Then when we are talking about group, there are total 18 groups, and then in this group, first groups are all alkali metals. Then from first 2 and then 13 to 17, all are called also normal elements, means their outermost shell is incomplete. Then all 17 group consist of only halogens. 3 to 12 are also called transition elements, means their last two shells are incomplete. At the bottom, two different series are there, and these two different series are called lanthanide series and actinide series. From atomic number 57 to 71, lanthanide series, and from 89 to 103, actinide series, because these first elements are lanthanum and actinium. You can see 57, atomic number 57 is what is the name of that? La means what? Anyone from you? La means lanthanum. What is lanthanum? Is the first element, so it is called lanthanide series. And AC means actinium. Actinium is the first element, so it is called actinide series. So these two series are at the bottom. I hope you got all points related to this periodic table. Then you can see here these all elements means from the means towards the left side, this periodic table. On the left side, all are metals. You can see here all are transition metals. Transition elements means they are all metals. From towards left side, these all are metals, and these all are non-metals. And again you can see here green color line is there for boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium and polonium. This zigzag line you can see here in the periodic table. So what is the special characteristic of these elements? So all the which are placed on the left side are metals, and on the right side they are non-metals. But some elements in the periodic tables just shows some properties of metals and some properties of non-metals, so they are called metalloids. What is mean by metalloids? Elements showing some properties or both properties of metals and non-metals also, they are called metalloids. What are the examples of metalloid? You can see here boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium and polonium. These are metalloids, means these elements show properties of both metals and non-metals. That's why they are placed on the boundary line. It is a boundary line which separates metals and non-metals in the periodic table. This is also called zigzag line, means question may be asked like this: explain zigzag line in periodic table. So where is the zigzag line? Here. Its zigzag line starts from boron and ends to polonium. This zigzag line refers to metalloids, means these are the elements showing properties of both metals and non-metals. That's why they are called metalloids. And examples are boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium and polonium. These are the metalloids. These just separate metals and non-metals in the periodic table. All this about periodic table. I hope you got all points related to periodic table. So today we have studied about this modern periodic law, also how anomalies of Mendeleev's periodic table just remove out in modern periodic table, and then how many periods are there, how many groups are there, and what is the arrangement of metals in this periodic table. So I hope you got all points related to modern periodic table. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Thank you.